Welcome to Towle Talks. So we're going to continue our example we were working on last movie, and this time we're going to make the player character and we're going to make our own network lobby manager. And here I'll show you the correct way, so to speak, to actually get the lobby player tied to the game player, the game network player. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this quick. I'm having some encoder problems with my videos. We'll see what happens if I get this imported or not. So we have our network lobby player and we have our network player. We basically just included network behavior right now. We haven't done anything else. Today we're going to finish the network player and we're going to make our own network manager. So here what we can do is make a new folder, network manager, and inside it we're just going to have a new script. So let's make a new script, call it my network manager, lobby manager, or whatever you want to call it. But this is going to replace the network lobby manager. So I double click it. And I can go over here. So here we are going to now we're going to extend network lobby manager. We're going to be using Unity engine.ui and Unity engine.networking, although we're not going to use UI today. At the very beginning, just for safety, we're going to say player prefab equals game player prefab. You can actually set this in the Unity editor itself, but because this is extending from network manager, we have this variable exposed. Now, the trick, what we want to do is we want to combine, or we want to bind, I should say rather, the lobby player and the game player together so we can get information from the lobby player to the game player. This is how you do it formally. We have to extend network lobby manager and we have to override this virtual function. Now, because network lobby manager extends network manager, it overrides a bunch of network manager's virtual functions. We don't want to override that, otherwise we lose functionality. To combat that, Unity has given us this ability to use to override these virtual functions. Anything that starts with on lobby is basically safe to override and add your own functionality. And here it takes two parameters, the lobby player and a game player. This is the only point in which you'll find the two associative players together, unless of course you do the way I showed you last time with the for loop and checking the connections. I call base on lobby server just to make sure nothing's happening, but I've double checked and all it does is return true. And here is how we bind it. We're going to say game player.getComponent player script, which we'll go talk about in a moment, my lobby, which you may or may not have this variable yet, we'll make it in a moment if we don't, equals lobby player. So I'm just going to bind the game object lobby player to a variable that's on our player script. And that's it. That's all we have to do. We'll go over to player real quick, talk about player. So hopefully we have these. We do need these three variables. They're going to be sync var. Again, they only be changed on the server. Public game object my lobby, this is the one we just changed. Public int classification, this is the choice we made on our UI. And public string player name, this is the name we typed in the inbox. Again, they're sync vars. Oh, I should mention that this will happen on the server. So this is happening on the server. Can't spell. Still can't spell. So we can change sync vars here. Now back to player settings. You don't need to worry about any of this right now. We're going to come back to this. And the first thing I did is I wanted to see if we knew what the lobby was on start. It turns out you do. This code here will execute before the player script start begins. But if you want to make a double check, so if my lobby does not equal null, we're going to say disable, we're going to say my lobby.gameObject.setActive to false. This basically disables the lobby UI, so I don't see the enter your name, enter your choice, and an are you ready button while I'm playing the game. I could technically put if local player because that's the only menu that's up, but I figure, and for some reason if another player's UI popped up, we just disable that as well. Now, if I'm server, so this code is only going to run if I'm on server, I'm basically going to use player name, my lobby, get component, lobby player script, which is what we did last video, and get the player name and set it to equal to my player name. Likewise with the choice, it's going to be set to my classification. Don't worry about any of this right now. We're going to come back and deal with this later. And that's it. Now we've transferred information from the lobby player, which everyone enters their own own information, to the player the game player character, or game player object, I should say. I need to find a better way of saying this. Say network player. There we go. So if I go back to Unity, let's make sure I had that up, and I look here, I will see that I have. I'll click on my network manager. I'm going to replace it with my script I just made. Again, rewind the video if you need to and pause. I have to populate my lobby scene and my play scene, my network lobby player, and my network player. And then I may have to, if you want to be safe, I can add my network player here as well. Now, if I run this right now, you won't have all the stuff I have, but if I run this right now, and I expand play and I click on dummy network player, you'll see that I have, in fact, the choice I made and my name. So now we successfully have gotten information from the network lobby player to the dummy network lobby, or dummy network player.